G'day YouTube, Warble's not a lot here. Just about to take the chainsaw for a bit of a walk to make some hut wood, and I thought I might share with you an interesting observation. Now, if you look at these teeth, you can see that what's happened is along here and along here, right on the point there, there's a few little tiny dents. Now, 46 minutes into the career of this chain, it's an almost new chain. I was doing pretty well, but I did manage to hit a strand of an ancient fence when I was clearing, standing it back up. You know, there were some fallen branches on it. So today is going to be the day of the first file sharpening, and I've done videos on that previously, but this chain replaces one that had only done 19 hours. There's the chain that's come out of it after 19 hours. And when I'd done 15 hours, funny thing happened. The cutter tooth broke off. Now, I don't know quite why that would be. I assume all of these components are stamped out as sheet metal, flat sheet metal, and then they're probably formed, and then they'll be held in a jig and they'll be sharpened so that you get this effect. And then all the little bits, the components all get riveted together by robots. And between stamping and pressing into shape, there's going to be a hardening process and a tempering process. To make these little cutters hard enough to chop through wood at the speed they get pulled through it, you have to first form them into your rough shape, and then you've got to heat them up red hot, and then you've got to drop them into some cold oil, and that gets them really hard, but it also gets them brittle. So then you've got to heat them up again and let them cool down slowly. And the particular temperatures and the times are all fairly critical. And yeah, at 15 hours, broke a tooth off. Well, all right, you can sort of compensate for that, and one tooth's not a total disaster. But after another couple of hours, broke another tooth off. Well, that gets harder to try and compensate with. And then, voila, golly gosh, bigorra. At the 19-hour mark, a third cutter tooth broke off, and they're all of them on the right-hand side. And they all pretty much sort of fit along one bar of the saw. So you cut straight for half a chain, and then you've got 3 cutters more on the left-hand side than you got on the right-hand side. So yeah, you take a bigger bite on the left-hand side and chunk, 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 you've cut off in a curve, and then you go straight for another half a chain, and then you go off in another curve. So this chain is absolutely bloody useless. You know, you might as well throw it in a crucible and melt it down and start again. How has it come to be this way? What do you think? Hey, have you got a theory? No theory? Got a hypothesis? Not even a hypothesis. Righto. Well, unlike my friend the kangaroo, I have got a hypothesis. I'm going to say that somewhere in the Husqvarna heat treatment process, they have successfully hardened all of the right-hand teeth and all of the left-hand teeth, but then something's gone wrong in the tempering process, and all of their right-hand teeth for that size chain, they might have a 200-litre drum full of the bloody things, and they're all just a little bit more brittle than the ones that are going on the other side of the chain. And most people cutting, Euro peon softwoods, which is what we call their idea of a hardwood. It doesn't ever show up. Cutting radiata pine, you're never going to notice that. Cutting western red cedar from the US, you're never going to notice that. Probably cutting stringy bark, you wouldn't notice it. But just lately, I'm getting into some yellow box that died in the drought in 2018 and it's been air dried. It doesn't mean that it's actually dry, but it's lost a lot of its moisture, so it's getting pretty hard and pretty dense. What's in there is all structural wood. Yeah. So the wood around here is hard enough to pull the teeth off the right-hand side of your Husqvarna chainsaw. Only pulls them off the right-hand side because they got the heat treating correct for the left-hand teeth. And I don't know about you, but I think that's curious, humorous, not actually hilarious because, you know, I've missed out on 7 hours on the chain. But it's pretty good, you know. And if nothing else, it explains what logbooks are good for. Because if you haven't got a logbook, how do you actually bloody well know how much time any one component has done on any machine? No, it's a camera, it's not food. So anyway, here endeth the speculation regarding why 3 teeth on the right hand side of a Husqvarna chain died at 15 hours, maybe 17 and a half, 18 hours, and then 19 hours. Warbles on like to YouTube. Ciao.